Daredevil Born Again is back with episode 7. This is, of course, going to be my spoiler review. Yes, I said spoilers. So when I say something in 1, 2, 3, Muse is dead, you should have already known that because you should have seen episode 7. So this is going to be a good episode to talk about. I thought this was another just fantastic week, especially coming off last week. Now, I think last week I still liked a little bit more, and I think a lot of that just comes down to the parallels, the build-up, Daredevil coming back, Kingpin coming back, all those sorts of natures. Episode 7 was kind of like the conclusion to that, the aftermath, what occurs here, and that's Daredevil, Matt Murdock, still going on this investigation to find Muse, find his trail, figure this out, and stop him officially, while Kingpin at the same time gets word that Daredevil is back, which, as he threatened Matt with, we don't want to see that. And as I said in previous episode reviews where I said this corrupt cop thing that Kingpin is creating, it is clearly anti-vigilante, which 1000% this is how Frank Castle's going to come back. He's probably going to murder all of them. Daredevil's going to need his help fighting them off, but we all know Frank Castle is just going to shoot them all up, kill them off, and that is going to be a glorious finale. But what's interesting here is that they killed Muse off already, which is a fabulous and really unique villain. And I thought the entire fight scene, the whole build up to it was fantastic. I wish they would have used Muse this season just a little bit more, but I like that he lingered in the background for the most part of this season. And specifically looking into the character, not being as versed as him within his little comic run that he was in, it seems like they really had Muse done pretty damn well. He just didn't have like all of his little powers, but for the most part, I really like that build up, and I like what the implications of this, but also what's interesting with this now and with Matt going back into Daredevil mode is he's sidelining his actual job. He's sidelining a lot of his other things, which was one of the things that he had issues with in the initial series, where it was some of his lawyer stuff kind of falling behind in this new firm, and Cherry's pissed at him and all these sorts of things. I'm really liking that Matt's kind of like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he's making reasons and excuses for him to be Daredevil, but at the same time, those reasons all make sense. And in reality, is it an excuse? Yes, this is a big reason, or is he actually doing it for the betterment of everyone? But we'll have to see. Episode 8, Episode 9, Matt needs to find that balance as a vigilante, as a hero, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And to kind of just play it out, like, I love when the kid walks in, you just instantly know that that's Muse. If you didn't know beforehand, you know that right then and there. And as they're building it up, obviously, you see Matt's girlfriend, she's going through it, and it just becomes more eerily not great. Very goosebump-inducing, very nerve-wracking. His nose starts to bleed. He paints that. And right then and there, it clicked for her that that was Muse. And the whole buildup of that parallel to Matt Murdock kind of touching the painting and all that sorts of stuff and noticing that it was his girlfriend's face, who that morning they both said, "I love you too," which made me think, oh, she's dead. She's going to die from Muse. Like that's how this is going to play out. And of course, he's still trying to find this trail. Hector's niece is so excited that Daredevil's back. Everyone's kind of feeling something different. But when he crashes through that window and that fight scene breaks out, and I love that Daredevil it's during the day too. It's not at night or anything like that. It is glorious. It is so badass. I mean, it's intense. And like, even when he uses his billy club and shoots and you just see the blood splatter, I'm like, Jesus. Like, they really are going with there. I always felt that, like, the Netflix series was brutal and bloody. Not as bloody as, like, The Punisher, but very much so, like, it would go to that mature tones, but it never, like, went that extra mile sometimes. This series does not care. Like, it will showcase that, and I love that. And when he pulled him back and just went all out on him, fucking great. Just great. But then it comes down to the significance of this. Kingpin basically lets that task force take the win. And Daredevil basically gives them an up on the hand of it all, which isn't the best. And we see Wilson Fisk is very much falling into this. Even Michael Gandolfini's character very much inspired by Wilson Fisk. And this guy that just, Vanessa played him. Sent him over the Kingpin, and, he's like, let me know what Vanessa wants for dinner. Such a good moment. And for the episode to end there, with only 2 episodes left, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that we only have to wait a year, thankfully. Like, they're already shooting season 2. I'm excited to see where that goes. But this is just a reminder of why Daredevil Born Again, and not even just Daredevil Born Again, but this entire series of Daredevil is just some of the best stuff Marvel has ever made. And I know some people might be disappointed with still Foggy being dead and Karen not really being in this season. But I do have to say, and I'm not sure, I'm assuming Karen shows up in the later half of the season. Same thing with Frank Castle. For me, what I'm interested in is how they handle this going into further seasons. Because Matt and Kingpin are very much the central characters in here. Almost every single scene, they are both involved in some way, shape, and form. And yeah, I'm loving it. Episode 7 was great. This series is great. I think it's about as perfect as you can get with a comeback. So definitely leave your thoughts down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, until next time, stay classy.